Hey, collective. So, you used to be somebody who struggled with being real, being true to yourself. You struggled with this idea of perfectionism. And it's really not, majority of it is not your fault. It stems from your childhood, and it stems from how you were raised, right? You were raised by parents who were still unhealed, still dealing and fighting their own demons, right? And so, because of that, you had this altered view of perfection. You had this distorted view of how you should be, because you grew up in a family of fake and phony people. I'm just going to be honest. You grew up in a family that sugarcoated and wasn't real, like how I am blunt on this message right now. You grew up with people who beat around the bush, sugarcoat things, and try to play things off and don't really get to the point. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with those types of people, you learn to be fake just like them. You learn to talk about people behind their backs, but in front of their faces, you're smiling and acting like they're your friend. You learn these things through the family that you've grown up through. And so for a while, you struggled with this concept of being real, because you were always striving for perfection because your family, your parents, wanted you to be so perfect, and they criticized you for everything that you did. You're somebody who was judged for the way you talk, judged for the way you walk. The way you did things in life was never good enough for your parents. They always wanted you to do more or do less. You were either too much or not enough, too quiet or too loud, too sloppy, too neat. Like you were never enough for your parents. And so this created a void in your life, where you're always trying to like be perfect, and it created an illusion and a lie in your brain to tell you that you're never enough and you're not perfect. So you went out into this world trying to look for more. Like you were never complete. You were told you were not perfect, so you went out in this world trying to strive for perfection. And when you weren't able to be met with perfection, this disappointed you and set you back. So you became obsessed with trying to be perfect, and you tried to project this perfectionism onto other people. So you were looking for perfect friendships, and you were looking for perfect relationships and perfect characteristics in people, because that's what you were projected on, and this is what your parents are looking for out of you. So this is all you knew. So you went out into this world trying to look for perfect, 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 and everybody kept letting you down every single time. So you grew into this depression phase, you know what I'm saying? And you probably went around trying to please people because you feel like you're not perfect. So you always were looking for validation outside of yourself to confirm, okay, are you good enough? You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, collective, you worked on that part. You filled that void in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you went to the root cause of why you're so obsessed with perfection. You went back to your childhood. You realized, like, hey, my parents it was them and them criticizing me, making me feel like I'm not enough. But the truth is, I am enough. I'm more than enough. I'll always be enough just how I am. Showing up as long as I show up and express how I truly feel and express my feelings, that is enough. Collective, you were someone out who didn't get to express yourself a lot as a child. So in your adulthood, you found yourself trying to explore different things to get to know yourself. Hell, you might even be looked at as a big ass kid because throughout your childhood, you were the one who had to be an adult and take life serious. So now that you're an adult, you don't take life so seriously because you went your whole life taking it seriously. So now it's the opposite. It's like you flipped roles. I'm talking to you. But see, you've mastered the importance of being real. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're somebody now, you don't give two F's about what people think. As long as you're true to yourself, like you don't care about being perfect. You know what I'm saying? You like being rough around the edges. You like not being the status quo. You know what I'm saying? You like not being everybody's type. You like being different and standing out. You know, you don't want to be perfect anymore. And I feel like you've embraced that so much now to where like your authenticity is so attractive right now on you, collective. Like you are so true to who you are. It looks good on you to everybody. You're literally everybody's type because everybody is looking for that type of energy. Everybody is looking for authentic. Everybody is looking for real in a world full of fakes. And you are one of few who's maintained your authentic self and stayed true to yourself. You never switched it up or compromised yourself to be like other people. And that is a price that is priceless. You can't put a price on that when so many people sell out themselves and give up themselves for a little bit of clout, a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of notoriety. But that part of them is gone forever. Like, but this ain't you, collective. You stayed true to who you are and you remained with integrity and you didn't give up parts of yourself. You're the type of person, you'll be out on the street before you think about selling anything of yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'll be homeless before you're paid for giving up parts of yourself that, you know, that is giving up parts of yourself. Like, you're not going to do that. Money ain't everything. You know what I'm saying? And so you really mastered learning how to keep your spiritual gifts intact and learning how to appreciate the things that you do have and not worrying about trying to sell them off or give them away. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're a hot commodity. There's not too many people like you. So you are going to be sought after. Very much so. Okay, collective? I don't know who I'm talking to, but let me know if this sounds like you in them comments below. And if this is your first time here on my channel, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button because I want you a part of our tribe, all right? And if you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support. Y'all are loyal AF, okay? And y'all know I love that shit. Y'all know I love loyalty, all right? Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Drop a comment below. It's Car. I'm signing out. I will talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.